See how you guys are doing. Good. It is good to see you again after kind of I don't know if I should say holiday. Yeah. So I think for some of you or many of you knows that we have twins some month ago. Leticia and the babies are doing pretty much well. Unfortunately, like we don't have a car that fits everyone to come. Our parents are also here. My brother is also here today as well in a coincidence. So they are still at home, but don't worry, they will come to the church. I think in some weeks from now, our parents-in-law are leaving us, so then you can now meet the boys. It's been a blessing also to become a father. Also today in Brazil, it's Father's Day, so it's my first Brazilian Father's Day as well. So it is a very special moment for me. But it's most important. It's a privilege to be here this morning to share the word of Lord with you and most important, to try to understand what God wants to talk to us this morning. As I always say, when I'm also playing, everything that happens in the service, during the service, is God speaking to us. So during the songs, when you say hello to each other, when you read the Bible, and everything, it's a pleasure and it's a gift from God that we can enjoy as a community, as IBC, and also giving Him back praise for it. So I invite you to open your Bibles in Psalm 131. And then we're going to discuss this morning a bit about humility, how we can rest on God. I put it's not so big psalms. So if you don't mind, I'll invite all to stand and let's read together the psalms. Then we can understand a bit why these psalms it's on the Bible this morning. Let's start. Oh Lord, let's sing. Let's read together. Oh Lord, my heart is not lifted up. My eyes are not to raise it too high. I do not occupy myself with things too great and too marvelous for me. But I have calmed and quieted my soul like a weaned child with its mother. Like a weaned child is my soul with me. O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time forth and forever. It's just reverse. You can see it. It's just reverse. It's very impactful to reverse. And one of the interesting things is that the guy who has written the Psalms, you're going to see who was in the next slide. He's not asking for anything. He's not like saying anything that he wants or so. He's just making a self-declaration of kind of a self-examination of himself and trying to say to God, before to God, those three sentences. And then those are very meaningful sentences because it has a hard message behind of it. And then it's a invitation for us to examination ourselves this morning to see if we can say those same sentences and how it is that means for us. Before a bit of the context, so what is this Psalms? So this Psalms, it's part of we call like Ascent Psalms or Pilgrim Psalms. It's basically part of a mini book inside of Psalms from Psalms 120 to Psalms 134. We have those those Psalms which has like 3, 4 verses. Most of them was written by King David, but also we have, for example, famous Psalms 127 written by King Solomon. And then we can see that those psalms, they were sung by the people of Israel where they are going to Jerusalem. So we have those like the Passover and other thing that happens in the Old Testament as well. And then most of those peoples, they go to Jerusalem, and then they have those 14 psalms, easy to memorize. And then they were like singing those psalms in a family, in a community where they're going to the psalms. Yeah, the writer of these psalms was King David, and then I think most of us know who King David was. King David was described in the Bible as a man after God's own heart. He was a shepherd as well. He was a warrior. He was a champion. So he was like a guy with many, many, many descriptions in the Bible about of his impact. He was the second king of Israel. after King Saul. And then, yeah, he was the guy before also King Solomon, the fathers of King Solomon. These Psalms was written more or less around like 1000 before Christ. So then you can understand more or less why the context of the Psalms was written. You can go next. But then, yeah, we're starting asking why that King David was saying those things, those three little verses, and what is the context of it? So we can say that, yeah, David is just giving God's account. So as we all should do, we should go in prayer to God, and then we should say what is in our heart. So God doesn't want to false words. God doesn't want that we say just beautiful words. God just wants to hear what is inside of our hearts. And then that's exactly what King David is doing over here. He's saying what he's deep inside of his heart. And you can say, yeah, this is a guy that is very spiritual, mature, that only a guy like this can say those three verses. And another thing that also can be, it's like there was a period of his life that he was receiving false accusation of wants to take the throne from King Saul. You can imagine, right? So it was already announced to him that he would be the next king, while King Saul was still in the throne. And then, in fact, like King David has some chance to accelerate the process and even to kill King Saul, but he decided not to do it. And then people that already knew that he would be the next king could say, yes, why you don't take the throne already? You have already the blessings from God to do it. And even King Saul was starting like not liking too much because King David was becoming more famous after the fight against the giant Goliath. He was becoming more famous because he was like also from the holy community of Israel. So also other peoples were already seeing him like as a natural like replacement or next king of Israel. And then David was just like, yeah, in this situation, he was going to God and reading those or saying those three verses that we're going to go one by one. It's not much, so it's okay. We're not going to stay here until midday or 1 o'clock. So my question to you, maybe let's start with this, like this morning is, yeah, where is your heart today? Like, where is your thoughts are right now? Where you spend most of the time thinking? Like, what is going on in your life that you could maybe write a psalms right this morning or a prayer to God and say what is inside of your heart? So that's exactly what this King David was doing over here. He was writing something that was deep inside of his heart. And this is what we should do as well. When you go to pray to God, it is okay. It's nice to say nice words, beautiful words, but most important, God really wants to hear what is deep inside of our heart. If you're happy, if you're not, if you're angry, if you're stressed, we should bring everything to God and say to him. So let's do kind of a self-examination this morning. That's why I invite you to do. So let's go to the first verse then. And then let's understand what is humility, which is opposite of pride. So King David here was saying in the first verse, like he was discussing what is totally opposite of pride. And then you can discuss, argue like three things of pride. The pride that it is in our heart, that it says, "Oh Lord, my heart is not lifted up." What that means for to say this. So David was dwelling with his soul. He was saying that like those words to him mean that even though God already had announced to him that he would be the next king, those things were not like taking a part of his life. That was not his like end goal. He was not doing anything like or winning against the giant Goliath or fighting with in the wars of Israel with the intention that I'm going to be the next king. He was saying to God, "You know my heart. It is not lifted up. So you know my acts, you know like what I'm really deep in." And then sometimes you can say like, yeah, your wife knows you, your husband knows you, your father or mom knows you, but actually only God knows you, really what is deep in your side. And if you do a real prayer to God, what is deep in your side, then you understand. John Calvin says in his books that if you know God, if you look for God, you know yourself. And this is actually the opposite what the Greeks were telling at that time, that you should know yourself. You should look for to know yourself by deepening yourself. You look for understand what is going on with you. But actually, we understand as Christian, then actually we only can understand who we are when you really understand who God is. So if you look for God's knowledge, if you go to the Bible, if you pray every day, as the kids always sing over here, then we're starting understanding our own situation, who he really is. And then we start seeing that actually we're not that good guy as we think we are, or the things that we're doing good. But as I mentioned, King David has some chance to even to kill. It's described in the books of Samuel that he has the chance of kill King Saul, but he didn't do that. Instead of, he decided to patient wait and say, God, I trust in you. My heart's not lifted up. Even if you already told me that I will be the next king, I'm not looking for those things. It is okay. I'm just like I want to wait and to live the life as you want to do. The next thing is not only in our heart, but it's the pride that is also in our eyes of wanting things that we would like to conquer. So the second thing says, you can go, or it says like, my eyes are not raised too high. Go back, yeah. You can go back. Yes, my eyes are not raised to right. It's about to appearance to others. So King David at that time, he was already a famous guy. So a guy which everyone could look at him and could say, yeah, King David, it is the guy. He's a great warrior. He's like the guy which is, yeah, we want to have him as a king. But then King David was not holding himself in any title or in anything that people would tell about him. He was more important for him is to know what God thinks about him. So it's not about any title. So when you say like, my eyes are not raised too high, in some translations can say like, yeah, I don't look from the top to the bottom. So I'm not pride. I don't look others differently. I don't treat others like as I am the greater one. Actually, I should consider others as bigger than me. Also, Paul says that in the New Testament in Philippians 2:3. So the thing is, God, I don't want anything that you're not giving to me. I don't look upside down. I don't feel superior to others. And then it's a bit funny, that part, because when we're talking about status, when we talk about positions, about titles, I think, yeah, most of us over here has our like titles, our what we do at work, what we do at work, and then we should not hold ourselves in those things. And then I could see recently, and this is also something that I need to tell to my soul, because we all know, or most of us knows what is happening at the ASML right now, which they are doing a huge restructuring, and then they are also affecting all those management positions. So basically, they are touching in where the most pride it is, like it's someone which has like a power, and so, and then it's not wrong to be a manager or so, or to be a boss. But then I could see as well that for some people, the title, what the people has, it's everything for them. And then if you remove this title, if you remove my status, I'm not a boss anymore. I'm not a manager anymore. I cannot control people anymore. Then this is everything for that person. That person becomes very frustrated because right now it needs to become a different role or so, and then you are not the boss anymore. But my question to you is, the titles is not only about in the job that you have, but also at your house, also with others, also the level of the thing that you have built yourself. Are your pride? It is in what you have conquered. It is in your house. It is in your good car, or it is in your good life that you have. Because if your pride is in those things, I can tell you, you are in a big danger this morning. Because those things can suddenly disappear, can suddenly go away. So even we could be proud of our healthy. I'm a strong person. I can do everything with my own strength. If you really like believe that everything that you have, it is like something that you should be proud, then I can tell you, you are in a big trouble. And King David, it's invite us over here to say something totally opposite of it. So my eyes are not raised too high. It's okay, God. It is fine with my life. I really trust in you. And everything that I have, it is okay. So give me something that I can right away give it up. So this is a difficult prayer to say. Give me something that I can right away give it up. And then the third part of this first verse says, I do not occupy myself with things that are too great to me. So it's about content, to become content. We also see in the New Testament, like Paul mentioned about that specific thing, how we should be content with exactly what I have. And content, it's opposite as well of want more and more and more and more. But then maybe you can ask me, what is wrong to want more? What is wrong to want to have a nice life? What is like you were an expat in the Netherlands. You came over here probably because you'd like to have a better life than you have in your own country. And most of us like maybe have done that. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem is that when we make those things the goal of our life, then we are like in the wrong target. When we make like the good life or like to have rest, and then something that we don't need to worry just because we have enough money or we have a good position at work or I have a nice house to live. If you are confident and those things are in that, I can tell you, we always would like to have more, more, and more. And then that's exactly what King David was saying here. Just imagine the situation. So King David was like announced like you would be the next king of Israel. He was a shepherd at that time. I was trying to think a bit. I live in Valkenswaard, and then there's a lot of farms in Valkenswaard. Just imagine somebody arriving over there to a farmer or to a son of a farmer and say, "You're going to be the next king of the Netherlands." What would be like the head of this guy, of this little farmer that is working? Would you mind that maybe he would think, yeah, what I'm doing here right now, let me be king right now. Let me king. Let me just have the throne right now. So I can imagine that in the head of King David, at that time, I cannot even imagine how he was thinking to say, yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see the next step of our God. I'm not gonna accelerate anything. If I not become the next king, it is also fine. If God like doesn't say what he's saying to do, it's also fine for me. So King David was deeply instating in his mind that like I don't look for it just because I want to be the next king. I only want things that God is designating to me. We should be content with a simple life. When I say like that, it's again, it's not wrong to have a good house, good car. It's not wrong to have like a nice family, a big family where you can enjoy the good moments. We all look for it, but that should not be the main goal of this life. Because if this is your main goal of this life, yeah, you're a sad person because nothing is enough for you. Nothing will be enough for you. We also would like to have more and more. So most of the times, God is giving more than we need, more than we really need. We should be content. We should be happy. We should enjoy the life that God has given to us. And then that's exactly what King David is saying. I'm content with where I am right now. I'm not going to rush. If you see like Jesus, if you talk about Jesus, our main, yeah, where we should all like follow and all understand his words and live his life. It says in Philippians that he didn't even consider to be God, but actually he became like a flesh like us. He came to this earth. He didn't consider his titles or his like who he is, but actually he made a servant and came to this earth in a point that he would die for us. So if you're talking about, if you're very proud about what you have done, what have you conquered, look at Jesus and see that he denied himself to come over here to give you eternal life. And then you start to see, understanding that the meaning of this life is not about having, it's not about like conquering more and more, but it's about like giving your life to Jesus and living the life that you have with Jesus and being content with what we have right now. If we go to the second verse of the Psalms, it says, I have calmed and quiet my soul. When he says, I have calmed and quiet my soul, it's not something automatic. So it's not something like, yeah, now I'm calm. It's a conscious decision. So David was saying to God, like, doesn't matter what's happening, doesn't matter the situation of this life, I am quiet. I quiet my soul. I will just rest on you. I will just relax on you because you have the control. You control everything. So I will not be anxious or so. It's a conscious decision of what you're going to do next. He could spend his time like thinking about the kingdom, like what he would do next, like what he would like, be the next big nice king of Israel, of what he would, how he could expand the kingdom, how he could like he could spend his mind and his time with everything that is not about, it's not like what God wants. But he said, God, I quiet my soul. I'm calm now. I just want to relax on you, and I just want to rest on you. So, as I mentioned to you, where is your thoughts today? Where's your heart today? Maybe you can have like not in the best part of your life today. Can be a sickness, can be a family crisis, can be a marriage crisis. Can you go to God today, this morning, and say, God, I have quiet my soul. I'm calm now. Can you go to God, before God this morning, and do this prayer? God, doesn't matter what's happening outside over here. I'm calm with my soul. I'm quiet now. I trust on you. And then I don't want to be anxious about anything. So again, it's a conscious decision. You should go to God, trust on him, and rely on him, what he can give you peace. Jesus said in Matthew 11:28 that, come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So this is not like something random that Jesus is saying like to the hard workers or so. This is for you today. This is for me today. Like, come to me, rest on me. Don't trust in himself. Don't trust in this world. Don't trust in what you have right now. Keep calm. Like, trust on me, and doesn't matter what happens in your life, everything is under control of God. So, when I live in Brazil, there was, I listened once, and then I think it's a good lesson for my life and also for us. That Christianity, it is something really to test you. And then you can say, yeah, but I'm a good Christian. Like, I don't know. I donate money to the church. I come here every morning. I help with everything that it needs to help. But actually, if you want to see that if you're really a good Christian, I heard that when you read the Bible, and then it seems that God is not speaking to you. When you pray to God, when you pray to something, and God doesn't reply to you, or it seems that God is not replying to you, when your life is going crazy, and then it seems like that God is not there for you, and yet you decide to trust in God, not because he can give something to you, but because who he is. That's the really Christianity. That's the really thing that we can say that I don't want things from God, but I just trust on who he is, and then that's enough. So if God heals my pain or heal my sickness, it is okay. If he doesn't do that, it is enough. If God, managed to help me with something that I'm praying for, it is nice. But if he doesn't do, it is enough. We have to understand that even if God has not sent Jesus to die for us, he would still be justice, because no one over here deserves salvation. No one over here deserves to be saved. What God has done for us was a merciful thing. He gave Jesus life to die for us, that we cannot trust in ourselves, in our good acts or good deeds, but we should trust on Jesus, that Jesus died himself for us. So now I can put my hope in him, not in myself anymore, not in the church anymore, as other churches are doing right now. So my trust is only in Jesus. And then that's what David was saying over here. I trust in you, God. I have calmed my soul. It is not an easy thing to say. I know that every one of us has our own struggles, has our own anxiety, that's things that maybe make us busy. But remember, this Psalms, it's an invitation for you this morning to come to God and say, God, talk to me. Maybe I cannot say what King David is saying over here, but help me to achieve this. Help me to calm my soul. I cannot do it myself. I need you. I need your help. I need your help to help me to become like your son is. So, and then my question to you is do you acknowledge that? Do you really believe in that? Do you really believe that if God do what he wants to do and not what you want to do, it is enough for you? Like the salvation of God, the salvation of Jesus Christ, it is enough for you? If you can out loud say that it is enough for you, you are a happy Christian, because you understand that it doesn't matter the situation of this life, you have salvation. You can trust in him. He'll come for you. He'll save you. And then that's the most nice and happy thing that we can say, that we can believe. And of course, what happened in this life, it is okay. It is good to enjoy, as even King Solomon tells us to enjoy this life. That's not a problem. But we should not make this our main goal of this life. We should trust in God. We should just trust in his salvation. Then we start having a parallel over here about the believers and the non-believers. Because the believers can put their trust on God, and then they can live their life without being anxious or without wanting more and more. And if you're not believer, you're going to struggle. Because if you cannot put your hope in somebody else that is perfect, we will fail. So it's a privilege to be a believer. And then this morning, I tell you, if you still didn't give your life to Jesus Christ, do it. Not because he can give you nice things, like a house or so, like also other church promise you. Or even not because you can have a calm and easy life. No. But because he can give you salvation in a time that is not now, but would come. It's promised. And then you can have a different life. You can live a different life right now already, because you have salvation. You have received your gift. And the third verse, you can come to that one. Like a quiet soul. I win a child. That's funny, because I had twins some months ago. And then when I read this part of the Psalms, I started thinking, we have last year we have a good harvest of babies in the church. Also this year we're gonna have a good harvest of the babies in this church. We have a lot of moms and daddies here. Maybe you can help me. Have you seen a hungry baby? Have you seen a hungry baby in the middle of the night? What can you do to solve the problem of this baby? If you sing some songs, that will help. If you take this baby and you bounce that baby, that will help. So a hungry baby, there's no bargain. I want my milk. I want I want my food. But the funny part is, after the baby being fed, have you seen that baby? It's completely different person. It's completely different like a baby. Right now, this baby is just like smiling at you or like enjoying like the arms of the mom or dad. And then it's like, yeah. So it is interesting that like King David was saying that. I don't know if he was like observing like when it's babies over there, but he was saying like, yeah, I'm like that baby that just after being fed, I'm just relaxing. You can see that. Those are my kids. So Leticia allowed me to put a photo of them over here just to show like this is right after they being like they have their milk. So they are totally relaxed, totally like feel safe. So what that means then to be like a winning child, you can go next. So that gives you like the understanding of a satisfied life and contentment. So a nursing child wants like a hungry child wants the mother milks, but a winning child just wants to the mother's presence or the dad's presence if you are there. So when David was talking to God and saying that like I'm like that baby that are like relaxed after I have my full stomach and I'm relaxed on you, God. So it doesn't want something else. When the baby has full, he just wants to relax in his mom. He doesn't want like he's not worried about anything else in the life, but he's just like relaxing until the next nap, probably. Also, that brings the second thing, which is about to feel safe, to feel safe. So what David was saying to God was like these kids, like this a winning child, I feel safe on you. I don't need to trust myself in other things, but I feel safe on you, God. So like a baby, it is feel safe in the arms of their parents. King David was saying, I feel safe in your arms, God. And the third one, it's about dependency. So a baby cannot do anything by himself. So a baby needs helps to do everything. And King David was saying, like a baby, a why-not baby, a why-not child, I trust on you, and then I just declare my totally dependency on you. So there is nothing that I can do by myself, but I need you. I'm King David was just saying, I enjoy your presence, God. I enjoy your presence. Again, self-examination. Can you say this morning? God, I enjoy your presence, and then that's enough. But this is not like to do something alone. The third verse, you say that he says, O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time and forevermore. So basically, this is an invitation, not only for you, but for the holy community. As IBC, we should, like a winning child, just rest on God. We should like read those three verses, and you could say, as IBC, that our heart is not lifted up, our eyes are not like we are not proud of what we can conquer, and then we trust completely in God. Can we say this statement this morning as a church that we don't have pride? Maybe like yeah, it's hard to see, but like it's very difficult to find a good church in the Netherlands. And as an expat, I can totally say this, but we should not be proud of it. We should not like say that we are very good church, biblical church. We should not put our like trust on these things, because this is just because God is graceful and merciful with us. God is graceful and merciful with IBC. That can bring you like a good message, good songs. Then we can have like a healthy Christianity over here. But it's not because of the church itself. It's because our Jesus that is the head of the church that is blessing IBC right now. And for many years it's doing that. So then that's what I invite you to say this morning. And then that's I invite IBC to say this morning. If you go one, you can go one like there is the conclusion of this message. I would like to just to maybe this is bringing some mixed feelings for you. This also brought mixed feelings for me. Like, how King David can say those three verses and not be a liar? How he can say these three verses and maybe not say something that is not true? Yeah, you could agree that after he have seen with Bathsheba, he could not written that Psalms. I agree with you. But like these Psalms, it's really to confront yourself. I was talking to Leticia when I was preparing this, and Leticia was saying, yeah, but yeah, that's funny because when I read these Psalms, actually, yeah, I don't feel like this. I feel the opposite. I feel anxious. I feel like everything is it's going wrong with the world. If that's making this feeling, it's achieving you right now. If you are thinking like, yeah, what is going wrong with my life that I cannot say those three words? Then that's correct. Then that's good. Because actually, the Psalms is an invitation for you to examine yourself and to say what is right and what is wrong with your life. So don't think that like if you read the Psalms and say, oh, I'm totally, completely relaxed because I can say these words very calm and that's okay. If you do this with not pride, that's okay because you trust in God. But if you feel that you still have some work to do in order to say those Psalms calm and to say those Psalms as reality of your life, that's exactly the type of thing that the self-examination and the Psalms wants to bring to you. So when King David has written the Psalms, it is nice to see how in 2026 we can read those Psalms and then it has a huge impact in our life. As I mentioned before, only believers can rest in Jesus. So only believers can really say those Psalms and then can really rely on Jesus and on God and say that like, I'm okay, I'm content, I feel safe, it is fine. Because our trust is not only in this life, but it's in something else. And then the last is like rest requires humility, as we are saying this morning, but in an individual way, but also in a community way. We should humble ourselves. We should declare our dependency to God as a person, as an individual, as an IBC church, that we make our soul quiet because actually we totally understand what the psalm is saying. So we just trust in Jesus, we trust in God, we don't trust in our own strength. So we can keep calm, we can rest. My prayer for you this morning is that when you see those psalms of 3 verses, first, you don't jump the psalms because it's too short. Second is like we see that David is not asking anything in the psalms. He's not like requesting anything, but he's doing a declaration of his soul, of his heart. That you can also come to God and then you can be really yourself with Him and tell what it's deep inside of your heart to Him. My prayer is that you trust in this God, not in your own strength. That we all can be a winning child. Like my babies are today trusting in Leticia, trusting me, that we can all trust in God. That we can all like feel safe in God's arms. And then in this crazy world, and I can even say in this crazy Netherlands, that we can say, okay, God, I trust in you. And everything that you do for me, it is just a plus because your salvation, it is enough. It is difficult, I know. It is like, it's not easy to deny ourselves, but that's about Christianity. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about Jesus. It's about his love. It's about his salvation. It's about who God is. And it's a free gift that he gives to you. So enjoy himself in his salvation, be content in his salvation, and relax in his arms. Let's pray. Heavenly Father,